growing up, my mom would always say things like, when you get older, you're going to have a kid that's 10 times worse than you. When you get older, your children are going to do the same thing to you. I did not realize that my mom was putting curses on me. I understand it now. I understood it. I don't know how long you guys have been following me, but back when people were doing like, people say don't judge because it could be you, but why would I, yada, 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 right? I told a few stories with that, just kind of breaking down some of the things that I've experienced with my mom. And one of those things was when she had left, well, she didn't leave yet, but she was threatening to leave my younger kids at home by themselves when I had my last baby. She was at home with them, she was watching them for me while I was in the hospital because I was a single mom. For those of you guys who don't know my story, I am divorced. God damn, this hair is just everywhere. I'm divorced. I had 5 kids before the divorce, and then after the divorce, I had another child, and I had another child with a man who decided don't want to be here. He just does not want to be a part of this after intentionally getting me pregnant. Anyways, that's a whole nother thing, but I decided to woman up and keep my baby. Not really someone who believes in abortion. I did understand that it was my choice, and that, when I did get pregnant, it was kind of the first time that I was thinking from a standpoint of, this is my life and I get to decide how it looks from here. And if this is too much for me, I can actually not go through with this. This is the first time I was thinking like that. But after prayer and meditation and just a sequence of events happening, that kind of made me feel like it was very much meant for me to keep my baby. I kept my baby. And I knew that meant that I might be doing that shit alone. And I am doing that shit alone. So I just said all that to say, like, when I did actually give birth to my child, I depended on my mom and my sisters to be my support system. Because when I told them what was going on in my life, they told me, listen, we got you. We are here. We support you. And I believed them. So I had a plan with my mom to come and help me after I gave birth to my baby. So, when I gave birth to him, we were already at odds. You might have to go back. That's just on a whole nother story, but just some things between me and her husband where I didn't want him around, and she was trying to force the issue and trying to make sure that he could come around, and I was like, no ma'am, he can't. So we were not really on talking terms when I gave birth to the baby. And when I did give birth to the baby, I almost did not tell her. I did tell my sisters, and then I told my sisters when the baby was born, and I was like, hey, can you let mom know that Kai was born? So my mom is thinking about this the next day after I've given birth, and I'm like in full recovery mode, and she is upset with me, and she tells me that she is going to leave my kids at home because she's upset, and I'm gonna have to figure out who's gonna watch them. So I am sitting there crying, flustered, trying to call people around, trying to see who can come out and watch my kids. In that conversation that we had, my mom felt a need to point out that what's going on in my life at that time was my karma. So, another backstory. At the time, what was going on was my ex-husband, who was a narc, was sitting here trying to gain custody of my son, who is not biologically his, my oldest child. He did help raise him. My ex-husband is a family friend. Okay, so he was my cousin's best friend growing up. He had been in my life my entire life. So, of course, he knew me when I got pregnant. He knew my oldest son when I had him. He he was just there. He was always there, and then we end up getting together, right? So my son obviously sees him as his dad. Um, we never differentiated any difference between my oldest son and all the kids. My other kids didn't even know that wasn't his biological father until this phase in our life when my ex-husband was trying to get custody of my son. And to break it down, it was just to hurt me. Honestly, at the end of the day, it was really just to hurt me. We can go further into that, and maybe I will one day. But my son was being super defiant, and the main reason he was being defiant was because I was trying to figure out where the fuck I was gonna go to afford bigger space with me and all my kids. At this point, I'm gonna have 6 kids. I'm a single mom because I am pregnant, right? And I'm needing to figure out where in Texas can I go, because Dallas is starting to look a lot like California as far as prices go, and that's where we're from. We're from California. So anyway, I was looking to move to San Antonio, and my son did not want that. He wanted to stay close and be at his high school with his girlfriend and all stuff. So he ended up going against me and working together with my ex-husband to uh, stop me from moving, first of all, from figuring that out, and from also just trying to paint me out to be abusive so that my other kids can end up over there too. Like, they were working together to help each other. It was breaking my heart, honestly, because I had my son at 16. And when I had my son, I made that very brave decision by myself. I had a lot of people that disagreed with me, and I really didn't give a fuck how anybody felt. I was like, I'm going to take care of my responsibility, and that's my baby. I love him. We're gonna be okay, and we were. And I never looked at it as like me being a teen mom or anything like that. Like, I just like handled my business. I graduated high school on time. Like, I did not skip a beat. I went to high school. I got married. I like nothing. I didn't skip any beats. And so, I really built my life around my oldest in a very unhealthy way, I will say. I didn't understand that until later on in life. And I realized, like, yeah, you got other kids here that need you, who need you to focus on them. So, anyway, I just said all that to say, because in that moment, when I was sitting there in the hospital, I'd just given birth to my youngest baby. And my mom is sitting there and she's like telling me she's about to leave my kids at home by themselves and just go. She also made a point to say that the things that are going on between me and my oldest son is my karma for how I treated her. Now, let me just tell you also, because I made a post on this. Her husband is a pedophile and he was very abusive towards me. So I used to run away a lot, and when I became a teenager, I learned how to speak up for myself. But she'd always call me her rebellious child and all that, and it just disregarded the fact that I was being abused. And every time she said that, I'd be like, I was being abused. I was not all these things you say that I am. I was actually just like trying to get the fuck away. I had a lot going on as a kid, but she always describes that, and she put those curses over me, and now I do deal with things with my oldest child. It made me realize in that moment that she is enjoying this. She's enjoying the pain that I'm experiencing due to what me and my oldest are going through. And I've just come across things recently that have shown me that sometimes we are experiencing things because our parents have put that curse over us, especially the older generation. Like, that was a very common saying, and let me know in the comments if your parents ever said it to you, and if you can ever correlate it to some of the things you're experiencing with your children on this day. I mean, I know also our own factors play into it as far as like our own choices and stuff, so on and so forth. But there was just some things I was looking back on, and I'm like, damn, like, there's a lot of correlation, and it's a lot of it probably has a lot to do with the curses my mom put over me, because she used to always say that. And don't ever underestimate the power of your fucking tongue. Kids, sometimes they don't understand, they don't get it, they don't understand the pressures of parenthood, the economy, what it takes just to provide for them. I understand all of that, and I do understand how it can be so easy to say, one day you'll understand. I have said that in the past. I have said that to my oldest child in regards to as far as what loving your child feels like as a parent and why you make certain choices for your child because you love them. It's never been in no malicious way with malicious intent. Be careful because you could be cursing your fucking child. I could never wish that my kids go through what they put me through and 10 times that. I don't I my thought process is always I hope you don't ever experience this. Cuz how could I want to break generational curses but want my kids to go through the same thing? To say that means that you are not aware of the generational curses and you have no intent on breaking them. That's just some food for thought for y'all. And also, you could be dealing with things in your current adult parenting life because your parents put some fucking hexes on you. In our generation, the goal should be to never want your kids to go through anything that they put you through because we only get better from here. No, no, I hope you experience this 10 times worse. What the fuck's that? What the fuck's that? That's not love for your child. No, I love my babies. I don't ever want them to experience some of the pain. I've experienced some tough ass pain. No. I hope they don't ever have such discord in their life, such discord in their household. I want peace for them. That's all I want for my kids. I hope we grow from this. I hope we learn from this so that it doesn't repeat when you have children and you start to build your own family. That's it. That's all. That's all it should be.